When last we left our heroes, Denir the Catman Wizard, Nara the Drow Sorceress, and Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, having parted ways with Elliot and the Kylum Diaboli, began to make their way towards the Colossus Kuldara, the seat of the Red Dragon Nidhogg in the heart of his desolation. The desolation seemed to be crawling with wyvern riding scouts, and while the party did their best to avoid detection, combat seemed inevitable. The initial combat saw the death of 3 wyverns and at least one of their riders, and garnered them a prisoner in the dragonborn Sereno. With Sereno as their guide and hostage, our heroes managed to evade detection for some time, until a larger platoon of wyvern riders arrived in search of the scouting party that went missing. After being spotted and with little time to spare, Denir opened a magical space at the end of a rope and beckoned everyone to climb in. With a swarm of wyvern riders searching outside, and only so much time to spend in their little sanctuary, how will our heroes slip through the draconic defense lines? So as a scorched and not all too well together happy Wolfgang climbs into this extra dimensional space, the rope gets pulled in after him. You find yourself in kind of a otherworldly mystical dome, swirling with arcane energies. Nothing comes in after you as the rope has been pulled out from beneath, and you're not really sure what's going on in the outside world, but the timer begins as Denir knows that this spell can only last for so long, 1 hour, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Ow.
Got a little hot out there, huh?
You could say that. Bastards are cleverer than I give them credit for. We've only got an hour. Make what preparations you need to. Denir is going to crouch near the entrance, and he's going to keep an eye on it because attacks and spells can't cross through the entrance or out of the extra-dimensional space, but those inside can see out of it as though a 3-foot by 5-foot window was centered on the rope. So Denir's going to be keeping an... Go ahead.
It's just straight down?
I'm guessing so. So Denir's angling, getting down low to the ground, angling, looking for shadows, so on and so forth, keeping his ear out. We've only got an hour. Make what preparations you can. If you have any defenses, put them up.
Right. And Wolfgang will immediately bed down for a short rest.
As Wolfgang covers his eyes and starts meta-napping. Go ahead and use your hit die as you feel.
Yep.
Yeah, as Wolfgang basically just ate the brunt of 2 fireballs.
Yeah, he was having a bad time.
Nara, is there anything that you'd like to do in the hour to prepare to flee? Sereno is rightfully freaked out.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. She's gonna cast Mage Armor, since that'll last for 8 hours.
Gotcha.
Which she should always do, but never does. And then... Let me double check something.
Sure thing. Denir, as you're watching the entrance, I don't think you can hear out of it, or at least it doesn't specify whether or not you can.
It just says,
Space can hold as many as 8 medium creatures. Rope can be pulled into the space, making the...
It just says C. That would be a DM's call if we can hear it.
Some time passes. You see, like, every now and again a shadow. You're guessing of one of the wyverns, kind of like makes its shape over where you are. You can see that dawn is slowly starting to break outside as time continues to pass.
Now, it says that it can only hold as many as 8 medium or smaller. Now, for, say, for example, large creatures, is there any way that I could use up 2 slots of a medium creature for a large creature?
I'm not going to be too demanding on this. As long as you're not trying to summon anything that's absurd, I think I'd let it slide.
Okay, then as time goes on, okay, Sereno, Nara, here's the deal. Nara, I'm going to summon you and Wolfgang spectral horses. Those things should be really fast. So what you're going to do is you two are going to be the distractions. You two are going to bolt just as quick as you can, as fast as you can, as far as you can towards the cursed woods. I don't have enough room to summon horses for myself and Sereno, so we're gonna go flying. I'm going to dimension door myself and Sereno as far away as we can, and I'm going to use just pure speed to try to make ground. If I can get far enough away from them through a combination of my flying, my natural speed, and my spell work, I'm going to try to summon a horse, and I'm heading towards the woods. Sereno, it's up. This is your call at this point. If you think you can try to, slip away and then, think that they don't think you're compromised, you can slip away and then return to them and try to meet back up with them. Just, remember what we've done. And that way you can at least have a chance to make it. We can have a chance to make it, and we can all try to meet back up with the master, or at least with the Nidhogg.
You would be letting Sereno go.
Yeah? Why wouldn't we?
Let me put it to you like this, Sereno. Even if you slip away, you're far better. You're far more useful than a corpse. We have no harm. We mean no ill will towards you, your master, or your allies.
I am glad I am more useful than a corpse.
Wow, the phrasing on that one, Denier. Not your best work.
I'm a mage, I'm not a bard.
Yeah.
I'm not my father.
I know. Sereno, listen. We're not looking to kill anybody that you are associated with. We just want to get out of here and figure out the next step. There's kind of a lot going on.
I see. I don't believe I have much choice in this exchange, so I accept your terms.
You're welcome to travel with me, or you're welcome to go your own way, whichever you prefer. But if you travel with me, then they'll likely see you as compromised.
I don't believe I would be able to keep up with you.
You think they're gonna let you live if you just start staying put and we run?
That isn't the question. I believe that at my current condition, I don't think I can keep up with him. If he were to start running, I would either slow you down or be left behind. If you are showing Sarah no mercy, I would not doom you in the process.
Very well, then I will give you what aid I can, and once this drops, we all scatter our own ways.
As you're talking, looking down through the window, there is another red-scaled dragonborn kind of walking around, just looking around the area that you guys once occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Checking the dirt where you guys last left your tracks. Feeling the tree, looking up.
And they can't hear us outside of this interdimensional thing, right?
Mm-mm.
You don't believe they can.
But the entire area is magical. The only way that they would be able to spot it is if they were to cast detect magic and be able to tell the difference between the illusion and the transmutation spells.
You see him make a few. You see the Dragonborn that's like examining the area. You can make an insight check to see what exactly he's going on about, but he seems to make like a few hand gestures and communicates to somebody that you can't see.
Oh, natural one.
17.
7.
As far as you can tell, Denier, this guy seems to believe that there is some magic involved, and he's calling for assistance in that regard.
He thinks...
this is about 15 minutes in, by the way.
He thinks he might be onto us. And Denier...
Yeah?
Yep. Denier begins ritual casting. Nara, you've got the first one.
Okay. She also does some flexible casting to get a 3rd level spell slot back.
Alright. Busting off a few of your sorcery points to...
Yeah, I'm nervous
feed
about
your
it, but
addiction.
also too helpful to not have. A short rest is a full hour, correct?
Yeah, you'll get your you'll get your short rest in.
Oh, okay.
You can go
So I can
ahead
do a
and-
couple hit die as well.
Alrighty. Yeah. Also, everybody gets
Okay, great.
11 temporary hit points.
Heck yeah.
Is that procs on a short rest as well?
heck yeah.
Have to ask, does that include Sereno?
Sure, why not?
Alright. I didn't know how benevolent you were being towards him.
And here you go, in case they try to kill you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of a faint glow as a translucent feathery shield wraps around him.
It is like the master's warmth, but kinder.
Just sort of mouth goes flat and he just looks to the side.
Aw, you have fluffy, warm spells, Wolfgang.
Oh yes, I'm sure my spells are fluffy and warm to people who experience them.
Well,
Fluffy
he just
and
said.
warm.
So as you distribute your fluffy, warm shields,
Wolfie.
after your rest, about another 20 or 30 minutes have passed. You have about 15 minutes left in this domicile. Denier, it looks like down there, somebody managed to dispel your illusory terrain, though they haven't caught on to the rope trick yet, it seems.
2 horses have already appeared for Nara and Wolfgang, and Denier's crouched watching. They've already dispelled my terrain. They haven't found the rope trick yet. We need to be ready at any second. As soon as it pops, we have to be ready to go.
Or
Nara
just
extra
Bolton.
swaddles little ass.
Unless you two have a better idea.
Seems like our horses might be our best bet.
Yeah. Apparently I'm supposed to run off with you, and Denier and Sereno are going to book it the other way.
I don't have enough room to summon a 3rd horse or a 4th.
Oh.
How durable are these horses?
Not massively, so
Wait,
try
how
not to get
fast
them
do they
hit.
go?
They are very fast.
Above game, how many? How much?
They can move 100 feet in a single action.
Okay.
So 200 in a dash.
Be
Okay.
fasto.
So, if I were hasted, would my pixie stick move faster, or is that like its static speed, but I would like be buzzing on it?
I think the way I'd rule it is, since that it is a magical item under your control, the pixie stick has what, 30 feet of flight?
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was 60. I thought it was faster.
Does anybody have the stats on a broom of flying?
I'm checking it right now. Flying speed of 50. It can carry up to 400
50.
pounds.
Okay, so, yeah, it would theoretically be able to move as quickly as the horse. If you were hasted while on it. But haste only lasts for, what, a minute?
Minute.
Oh yeah, that would not go well.
Horses last for an hour.
Okay, never mind.
All right. Well, as the magic around you begins to dissipate, you can see the extra dimensional space start to kind of crumble and crack around you.
I cast Fly on myself in Sereno.
The hole beneath you begins to open up. And this is where you find yourself. You have one round as a surprise to get away from this scenario, as the Wyverns riders are currently circling the area just of your last known coordinates. But let's see, just for the sake, hold on, what initiative order did I last have you guys in? Because I'll just let that roll in terms of you guys trying to get the fuck out of here. As you guys drop to the ground, Nara and Wolfgang on horseback, I'd say that, where is it? Wolfgang, you would be the first one to get an action.
All right, so we're on our horses now.
Yes.
What I'm going to do is...
I was told to go one direction and then circle back around to the Cursed Woods.
The end goal is the Cursed Woods, yes.
So...
Cursed Woods are currently to the north west of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
This is relatively hilly terrain, so that little cliffy base there does count as difficult terrain if the horse is going to jump.
Okay. All right, well, I'll probably end up... I've got 200 feet to work with because the horse is dashing. So that is about 110 feet right there. As the horse is dashing, I'll get to about right here, and I'm going to cast Banish on this one right here. So the wyvern needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh,
Charisma
danger.
saving throw for a wyvern. What's the DC?
We're gonna get in so
17.
much trouble.
17. I do believe that is in fact a failure for the wyvern.
Well, then the wyvern
It's about
goes
30 feet up.
Brief white sigils appear on the wyvern's body before...
All right, the wyvern pops from existence, and tumbling out of the sky is a red cloak wearing dragonborn, who, while startled, begins to shout. Your presence is now very much known. Nara.
Oh, and then I continue on for another 100 feet.
All right, Wolfgang gets the fuck out.
Now
Being a distraction.
the flingy wands that I have are, what were they again?
You have a wand of catapult, I believe.
Yes. With a range. We didn't have the range in here, huh?
Here, let me look it up for you.
Catapult. There it
Catapult 5th edition spells. do.
60 feet.
Yeah, has a range of 60 feet. Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within a range that isn't being worn or carried. That object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping if it impacts any solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When the object strikes something, the object that it strikes takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. I definitely don't want to bop anyone if I can help it. So Nara's just gonna fucking take off in the same line that Wolfgang opened up. And just whoop, poof off the map.
Alrighty. You ride by. Basically, you're just a little bit behind Wolfgang, and you see him just point up to that wyvern, which gets this, like, starts to kind of shake and shimmer out of reality, and then boom, you see as you fly by, you kind of make eye contact with the Dragonborn as he's tumbling to the ground.
Throws up the little peace sign like, bye!
Alright, Danir and Sereno.
Danir is beginning to cast Dimension Door. Is Sereno willing? If he is not, he will be left behind.
Alright, where are you dimension dooring?
North, 500 feet. If I have to go up in the air, I will go up in the air.
And just like that, boink!
I will then use my movement to continue on 50 more feet.
And you continue another 50 feet as this guy falls to the ground. It does deal damage to him, so let me go ahead and do that real quick, even though this combat map is now essentially useless.
Yay!
Good work, team.
Yay!
However, you are still being pursued.
Absolutely.
As you begin booking it through the woods, the ones most immediately recognized are the ones on horseback. So, Danir, I want you to give me a stealth with advantage. I'll do the same for Sereno.
Okie doke. 15.
Doesn't notice you. Definitely doesn't notice you. Doesn't notice you. Doesn't notice you and is currently eating dirt. So.
What? Nice.
Wolfgang and Nara. You are currently being pursued by 4 wyverns. They are definitely having trouble trying to keep up with you. Like, you are moving at essentially slightly more than double their speed at the dash. But they're doing their damnedest to keep their eyes on you as you, like, weave and shift through the forest.
How close behind us are they?
At the moment, you have maybe 70 feet on them, but you are getting distance.
Okay.
For this ride, however, to continue, as you are riding through a forest of dead and scattered trees.
Oh boy.
I do want you to make me either an animal handling or dexterity check.
Okay.
Each of you.
Heaven! Oh, not good.
Yeah, the only advantage they really have is that the terrain that they are traveling through is unimpeded by obstacles.
My dexterity is better than my animal handling, so here I go.
My
Yeah, that seems about right.
Fuck.
You're having a lot of problems with pathfinding in terms of, like, weaving your way through this dead forest.
Of course I am. Playing 5th edition.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You keep having to slow yourselves down just a little bit to not collide with trees and make sure that you're staying on a good path to get to where you're going, to the point that some of these wyverns are gaining on you.
Okay.
You were 70 feet ahead. You now have 50 feet on them.
Oh.
As they are starting to close in and keep their eye on you.
How many are behind me?
Still the 4.
4. Okay, so there are 4 wyverns 50 feet in range?
And above you, so I'd say about 80 feet. because they're 30
Okay.
feet in the air as well.
Okay. Okay.
Taking your I will say taking your attention off the trail to do something to them will slow you down a bit. You won't be able to dash.
I
if you're doing
understand.
that.
I'm more focused on going forward and not engaging if we don't have to.
All right. Meanwhile, Denier, Sereno, you guys were even a bit ahead of the Wyverns yourself, although on kind of a different path. They're flying directly to the northeast, where you traveled basically 550 feet directly north.
Mm-hmm. And I am double moving, basically, towards the Cursed Woods, towards the hexwood.
Okay.
And we would be moving the same speed at the moment.
At the moment, yes. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
16.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. Sereno is taking this time to hesitantly start finding his own way. He's leaving you, not wanting to remain your prisoner, and hoping to be not have been spotted by the other Wyverns.
Before they part ways, Denier will grab Sereno's forearm in that kind of warrior handshake. Safe travels to you, Sereno of the Fire Tongue Brigade.
And to you as well. I didn't get your name.
Somnium Vagus. And then Denier parts, and he's going his own way.
What a strange name.
He says as he makes his way in a directly northerly trail.
And-
Gonna give the trailing wyvern a chance here. Nope, still does not see you, Denier. All right, Nara, Wolfgang, animal handling or dexterity.
God. We'll try it again. Oh my god, a 5?
Natural 20.
Wolfgang fucking just finds his stirrups and just blitzes like you found a path and like your eye is just tracking it.
Oh, thank God.
Damn it!
Nara is following fairly close behind, but then your horse makes a sudden leap over a log that Nara's was not prepared for, and Nara's horse stops. Wolfgang, you have gained an additional 30 feet on the Wyverns. The Wyverns have gained an additional 20 feet on Nara. They are now within 30 feet of you, and you can see a couple of them queuing up a spell.
I can see a couple of them queuing up a spell.
Yeah, as your horse is just kind of like trying to like stop and re-find its legs, you see a couple of glints of firelight behind you.
Will I have the chance to do a spell before they do a spell, or is that like gonna be a reaction timing thing?
You can use your reaction, but only on one of them, obviously.
What if I twin spell?
You know, there's also that.
So I'll do that.
All right then. Twin spelled,
counterspell.
All right.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that.
Really?
Twin spelling a counter spell.
It's
Why would
doable.
Why would I not?
I mean, you've got a good reason to. I'm just saying I've never seen anyone do it.
Hopefully it fucking works. Oh, do you need me to hit it, or?
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and do that. I'm just double checking something for
Wait.
myself real quick.
Wait.
Level 3
It's not too-
abjuration.
It's not
And
too
it should-
common an occurrence.
Sure enough, as you see these two fireballs start to erupt over them, they peter out as you point at them with your sorceress magic. A shadowy stopper seems to be put over them, and they peter out. They are left confused.
Can I... Hold on. Whew. So my flexible casting, can I do that while riding... Like, can I do that now? Is that possible?
Is flexible casting a bonus action or an action?
That is, I think it's an action. Hang on, let me double check. As a bonus action on your turn.
Okay, then yes, I'd say you can. If it were an
Okay.
action, you'd have to make your next check at disadvantage.
Totally fine. I just really want to do this right now. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Much better. Much more better.
Wolfgang, how long does Banish last?
Banish lasts, I believe it's in... It's not terribly long. Banish the target to a harmless demi-plane. Oh, 1 minute.
Oh, God.
Okay.
10 rounds.
Well, we aren't
Okay.
really doing traditional rounds here.
True.
So, also, since that was my bonus action, and because my horse is still, would I be able to pull off an action?
If you wanted to use an action, like I said, your next check is going to be at disadvantage because your action right now is essentially making sure that horse is going where it needs to go.
Okay. All right. I will focus on riding away then.
All right. The trees are starting to get a bit thicker as you're riding. Wolfgang, Nara, go ahead and give me another dexterity or animal handling of your choosing.
So scared, but maybe third time's a nat 1, whatever.
You can do it.
12!
Here I go! 6.
All right, as Nara, slowed down behind you, Wolfgang, that kind of slowed you down a bit. Your fatherly instincts have you kind of checking over your shoulder and slowing you down a bit more this time.
Shit.
But Nara seems to have kind of found her footing a bit and is at the very least keeping pace with these wyverns. Start to trail a little further. Again, Nara, out of the corner of your eye, you start to see the flits of 2 more kind of fiery spells being primed.
Chit.
Nothing I can do this time.
Well, luckily, it's not as strong as Fireball. But still not exactly fun as these streams of fire begin blazing towards you. Let's see. Ranged spell attack. Okay. So each of them are going to make a ranged spell attack on you with mage armor on. What is your AC?
15.
Alright, as a beam of fire just kind of boom cracks into a tree next to you.
Oh, shit!
That one missed you. Then with a second one, seems to hit the trail just a little off to your right, but it also misses you. Denier, you continue on your trail as well. You're at this point pretty far behind everyone, but the wyverns don't seem to have noticed you and are just trailing or are flying at Wolfgang and Nara as fast as they can.
Yeah, I take it that I've begun losing ground due to my 120 to their 200.
Yeah, you're starting to run like Mob in Mob Psycho 100. We're just like, I'll be there in a minute.
How far are they ahead of me?
At this point, give me a perception check.
Okie doke. 18.
You can see them, but kind of only because those 2 wyverns were throwing fireballs at Nara. You were able to triangulate where they were. You can't really see Wolfgang and Nara anymore, but the wyverns give you a good sense of where they are. As to how far ahead they are, considerably. Like, by your pace, maybe half a kilometer.
Okay. Daenerys going to keep on doing his thing. He was thinking about throwing a potentially like a fireball or something to try to pull attention off of them. But
aggro is bad.
Aggro is indeed bad.
All right. With that, Wolfgang Nara, animal handling or dexterity.
Come on, baby. I'm okay if it goes. You know what? We're just gonna see what happens. 21.
Oh,
Nice.
21.
21.
Let's see what I get.
Yeah.
Any second.
Yeah.
Any minute now.
Yeah.
Hey, 20.
Let's go!
Yay.
All right, you're both freaking booking it. Like you finally kind of found your legs and you're going there to the point that you can actually start to see the canopy of trees ahead of you. You're getting very, very close to your destination as these wyverns
We're almost there.
Are still flying behind you. They're now they're outside of fireball range, but they're still in firebolt range. And with that, they're going to fire one at each of you.
Giggles!
Wait. I could on in between I have done another flexible casting.
Sure.
Sick. Ooh,
Slurp those spell slots.
I shall.
As they fire two more fire bolts.
I'm gonna fizzle out one of them with a counterspell.
Okay, easy enough. It's a cantrip.
Okay, great. Just waves her arm back and keeps riding.
I think a 21 will in fact hit you, though.
Yes.
All right. that
And
is-
ow.
Roll these.
These?
I mean, it's a multiple dice damage roll.
No.
Yeah.
That is
No.
High level caster.
14 points of fire damage.
Ow, what the
Which eats through your temporary hit points and a little bit of your, just made you just slightly crispier on your back. But as you ride forward and they continue to pursue you, I'm going to roll something real quick for them. Failed to notice. Does notice. Failed to notice. Noticed. All right. As you guys make your way under the canopy of the wood, a couple of the dragons continue, a couple of the wyverns continue to fly down at you. But Daenerys, you notice that two of them seem to kind of peel off as they approach the wood, and it's very quickly you realize why. As the other two fly directly above the canopy, vines begin to lash out from the forest. They start to wrap themselves around these wyverns in pursuit of Nara and Wolfgang. And if you guys choose to slow down, you can hear the screeches of these wyverns and the cries of their riders as these vines begin to bind them and grasp them into the canopy until they just kind of like shake and shimmer. They look like they're kind of wrapped into viney cocoons. And you hear a sickening crunch as they go limp in the canopy.
Oh, shit.
And they're on our side.
I hope so. It's been like... Are you sure?
Nope.
Fuck!
As you say that, go ahead and give me a perception check, the both of yous.
Percepcion.
22.
Another modified 20.
A couple of, like, you can see a couple of lumps in the ground, specifically around Nara's horse, as vines kind of start to shoot up and out towards Nara. Nara, go ahead and make me a dexterity save.
Oh, shit. 16?
Ooh.
That's That's enough to make this particular save, as you're able to deftly get your horse to kind of hop out of the way of these vines as they try to grapple at you. The remaining 2 wyverns who have now peeled back and off are going to get another chance to spot Denier as they're taking up a new formation. Denier, go ahead and give me another stealth check.
Okie doke.
This guy ain't gonna make it regardless unless you...
13.
Yeah, nah. I got a 2 and a 1 on the die, respectively. So I think they are more concerned about the cursed wood at the moment and begin to fly off. They peel off and start to make a turn back towards the mountains.
And I saw the vines shoot up from the trees, or was that just Wolfgang and Nara?
You saw the vines specifically. Nara and Wolfgang noticed them as soon as the wyverns started screeching. But Nara,
then
you're currently...
I'm casting sending as I'm flying.
Okay.
The target is Fleetfoot.
Fleetfoot, a.k.a. Daniel Peaches. What are you saying?
We're coming in hot. 3 of us, a drow, a human, and me, a cat. Wyverns are chasing us. Heads up.
You get less of a reply back and more of a feeling. This feeling of recognition and nostalgia just kind of flows through you.
Oh?
Nara, as more of these vines begin to shoot up out of the ground, I need you to make me another dexterity save.
Okay. 17.
And as you dodge out of the way, the vines kind of stop midair regardless and slither back beneath the ground.
Okay. Okay? What the fuck? What is happening? Wolfgang? Is this a thing?
I think our friend might have recognized that you're a friend. Let's keep moving. Don't know how brave these dragon folk are.
Okay. I don't want to get eaten by a bush. Let's go, please, somewhere safe.
Let's go a bit further in and then wait. Don't know where Denier is.
As you continue to travel further inward to the hexwood, looking around, you see this canopy is riddled with a number of wyvern skeletons.
Whoa.
Pretty old, some of them, like years old, and gives a decent amount of sky coverage, all things considered. And as you continue to travel further in, the woods themselves kind of take on a bit more life, including actual songbirds pervading some of these trees. This feels like a land that has never been touched by blight.
Wolfgang? Did this place just forget there was an apocalypse outside?
It sort of seems like it, yeah. But
A couple of arrows sink into the dirt at the feet of your horses.
Oh, that's new.
Okay. Hello? Hi?
Who trespasses in the green?
Wait. Do I recognize that voice?
It seems to have the nasally tone of a goblin, but not a goblin you're familiar with.
Wolfgang will hold his hands up. Hang on. We're friendly.
You hear some kind of, neither of you speak goblin, I'm assuming, but you hear some goblin chatter between the branches.
Prove it!
We're friends of Giblink.
You hear a bit more chatter back and forth. Go ahead and give me a persuasion with advantage.
Nara under her
Persuasion.
breath.
Who's Giblink?
You're an old friend of ours. Persuasion with advantage is going to be a 15.
You seem to know names. And the forest ain't attacking you. What are you called, stranger?
As a small, green, pointy-nosed, pointy-eared face kind of shows itself from a branch of the tree.
Sort of moves to put his hand over his chest. I am Wolfgang Connolly. And this is Nara.
Hi.
We have one more traveling companion with us, Danir. But he's catching up.
We'll keep an eye out. If you're lying, the forest will make you pay.
I
no
believe
shit.
you.
But if you stay true to your words, then you will have sanctuary in the green.
Thank
Carry
you.
on.
And he disappears back into the brush.
Did he have any iconography on him or any sort of telling uniform?
He did seem to have a series of what appeared to be kind of ritualistic scars on his face. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Percepcion. 6.
As best you can tell, it was just a series of kind of organic lines. With that perception check, you can definitely tell that it was not something that just happened by chance. This was something ritualistic, but there's these
I know what they are.
very curved organic lines. You can make me a perception check, Nara, sure.
21.
They look like vines going all around his face and ears. At certain points of the vine, there would be a leaf carved into his flesh that kind of left a old scar. You can.
Did the forest attack that guy?
I guess you can give me a religion check. It feels weird, but yeah,
6.
nothing. You got nothing on that.
I mean, it looks like he's really into plants. Got some leaf, some vine, little scars on his face. Really dedicated to the whole green thing, I think.
Well, this place is their home. I would imagine they would be pretty dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You continue to travel through the quote hexwood, and eventually find yourself in to Wolfgang, a very familiar clearing. You see the old house, a big tree nestled over it, and a few new fixtures in the area as well. There appears to be a small but deep pond carved into the area, as well as a few new treetop houses built around the surrounding area.
Wolfgang!
Yeah.
Wolfgang!
Yeah.
Is this, Maggie's?
It's sort of starting to look like it, but there are a couple of changes since I was last here.
She smacks his arm like a million times, like, I read about this in Danir's journal!
Ow,
I've seen it!
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, this is the same thing!
Ow. Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool!
Making a lot of ruckus out there.
Sorry.
A voice kind of comes from, like, kind of behind a tree, but sitting at the pond, which now you see is there's a small fishing lure bobbing in the pond. The face of a elder goblin kind of peers out from the side.
You're gonna scare away all the... Holy shit.
Do
You're
I
alive.
recognize that voice?
You recognize this as a older Giblink.
Wolfgang will take off his hat, put it over his chest. Hello, Giblink. It's been a long time.
God, what have you been drinking? You barely aged a day.
and drinking whatever fate throws at me. A bit hard to explain, but...
Well, whatever it is, get me the recipe.
He stands up, kind of pulls his line from the water. Both of you can make me another perception check.
Okay.
15.
26.
Nara, having read Danir's journal, you're immediately looking around for very specific things, and sure enough, on the branch of a tree above you, slowly swaying its long black tail, is what looks to be a domestic house cat, just a black house cat, staring down at you.
No fucking way!
And she, like, smacks Wolfgang's shoulder so hard.
Ow! Fuck hell!
It's him! It's the peach! The peaches!
How do you smack so hard?
I like her.
The cat looks down at you, and a voice kind of pervades your heads. Sup?
Oh my god, can I hold you?
He kind of glances around, gets up and does that cat ass in the air stretch. Yeah, sure. And he hops down.
Fuck yeah.
He starts to leap down towards you, lands, kind of cushioning himself on your chest at first, but kind of like climbs up to your shoulder. And
He, like, swings the papoose of Lil Ass to her back so she can cradle Daniel Peaches.
Very interested as, funny enough, as he lands, you think for a moment the little ass is going to snap at him, and he looks like he is for a moment, but then as he lands and Daniel Peaches looks into his eyes, little ass just... Yeah,
I knew you two would be friends.
Go to sleep, little one. And little ass falls asleep.
So good with him.
You've been gone a while, Daniel Peaches says as he looks at you, Wolfgang.
Nara has done grabby hands and picked him up.
He gives like very subtle purrs.
It's a bit of a story.
I bet.
Long story short, we're displaced from our own time.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's got its silver linings, but we need to get back.
A shaky voice comes from the house as the door kind of creaks.
What's the noise out here? Are you getting into my ingredients again, Daniel?
And as the door opens, you see very, very old Maggie. Kind of walking on a cane, using a cane to walk now. Her bones barely have any muscle clinging to them at this point. She walks with a crooked back. Her eyes look milky and unclear. No, Maggie. Just friends visiting.
Friends? It's been so long since we've had any company. I'll get the tea on for our guests. Yes, lovely tea.
And she starts to make her way back into the home.
Nara is like a vibrating, standing in place. Like,
Holy shit, it's Maggie.
As she
The
was
hexwood
talking,
had herself.
she didn't seem to recognize that you were there at all. Mostly, from what you could see, probably because she can't really see much anymore.
Wow.
She's gotten old. like so many others.
Yeah. That's, feeling the weight.
Yeah. But what brings you all this way? I mean, after all this time. At about this point, Denir, as you approach the hexwood, the forest actually seems to open up to you, giving you like kind of a clear path on the way through. Trees seem to kind of sow their roots and move out of the way, and shuffle back into place as you pass. You notice a lot of the same things that that Wolfgang and Nara noticed on their way in, that the canopy is littered with the skeletons of wyverns and other flying beasties. And the grounds themselves seem to have had a few newcomers as well. You remember the first time you popped in here, there was a troll corpse that was ripped into the earth by roots. There appear to be a few other things that have joined it in that time, including no fair shortage of demonic creatures, some hellhounds, a few of those chain devils that you've seen, and a number that you can't quite recognize, either due to their sheer degradation over time or due to the fact that you've just never seen any creatures like them.
I knew you'd keep the place safe. As he walks by, he runs a hand along the tree trunk. A little smile on his face as he keeps on going. He casts Prestidigitation, and on the shoulder of his jacket, he makes sure to put the symbol of Fleetfoot where everybody can see.
And you make it to where Nara and Wolfgang are at about the point we are in this conversation.
Oh, Denir.
Hey,
I was getting ready to run back out there and check on you.
Smooth flying. How'd it go for you two?
Minimal problems. Nara got burnt a little bit, but I think she'll be all right.
Worse has happened.
The cat
Week.
the cat looks down at your the burn on your back. And as his paw touches your shoulder, you feel that wound completely knit closed. You get all of your HP back. I know it's not a whole lot, but Daniel Peaches has healed you.
Daniel Peaches, you're the best.
And she like squishes her cheek up against his head.
You get a little purr out of him as you do so. Thanks.
Wolfgang's just thinking, this is really weird knowing what I know, but I know he likes it, so okay.
Like you kind of squeezed a purr out of him, basically.
She's been spotty with like all that she's read out of Denir's journal, so she doesn't fully know. But yes.
You asked us what brought us here. We had a brief chat with Bahamut, and we found out where you and your siblings were hiding out. We were being pursued by wyverns, and we knew we had friends here.
I may have given him a heads up as I saw those wyverns all over you lot.
Oh, is that why we stopped being attacked?
Well, a couple of them are fertilizer now.
Oh. My goodness, you're very gifted.
She holds him up Simba style.
This is uncomfortable.
Oh, sorry.
Goes back to holding him.
How have things been?
All things considered, everything around here's been kind of the same, except for, well... And you hear the door kind of creak open again.
Tea's on. How many of you would like some tea?
Nara immediately.
I would.
Oh, a young lady. Yes, of course. Come now. The tea is fresh and ready for everyone to drink. Make yourselves at home.
As she leaves the door open to her hut.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course, young man.
Wolfgang sort of, his cheeks flush a little bit. Young, huh?
As soon as that door opened, Daenerys' head snapped in that direction.
You see what others had seen previously, a very old Maggie, somewhere probably in her 70th or 80th season. Her cycle.
I made this tea with fresh berries and, well, tea leaves, of course. You can't have tea without tea leaves. And it should do just the trick to rest some weary bones.
And she begins to shakily reach towards the kettle, at which point you can see Daniel Peach's eyes glow and a vine from the roof comes down and supports her, grabbing it and picking it up.
Not as light as it used to be, but I still got it.
And he helps guide her to each of the cups that she's pouring into. Sometimes a vine will pop up and shift a cup over to make sure that she's pouring it correctly. And as she goes to set the kettle back down, she lets go of it prematurely, and the vines support it and set it down to its rest.
There we are. It's tiring work, this.
And she goes and sits down in a rocking chair, and another couple of vines start to pull a blanket up over her waist.
How many cats are here, Lani?
Daniel Peaches.
Damn.
Daniel Peaches crawls down from you, Nara, and goes and sits in Maggie's lap.
There's my boy.
She starts to shakily pet him.
Now, where all did you come from? You must have made quite a journey to make it here. Are you from the Fallwood Borough? It's been some time since I've had visitors from there. A young boy used to come nearly every lunar cycle, just to say hello, but at some point I guess he got too old and just stopped. It happens.
We come from Dragon's Rest, ma'am.
Oh, that's a very long way.
Well, we've heard it's good company here.
Oh, you flatterer.
I'll look to Denier and Nara, and I'll sort of motion with my head towards the door to go inside.
There's a conflicted look in Daenerys' eyes. He doesn't know if he should say anything. Mostly due to the fact he's worried about the last time he spoke to somebody that's been a while since he spoke to them.
Is the tea to your satisfaction?
I'll try it.
Nara would too.
As you sip the tea, it is more robust and bitter than you were expecting. Either the tea leaves were overheated, or too much fruit pulp was used, or something. It's palatable, but not amazing.
Nara's eyebrows are very furrowed as she's like looking at Maggie and Wolfgang and Denier. Kind of looks to Daniel like, should we tell her?
Denier very softly speaks up. Best tea I've had in 30 years.
Oh, my. Well, thank you. It's an old recipe. It's to help reinvigorate the senses. You know, in some time ago, I came up with this. Oh, pardon me.
And she starts to kind of drift off into sleep in the middle of her sentence. Time comes for us all. Eventually, I suppose. Daniel Peach's voice kind of radiates through your heads.
And I just want to make sure she just went to sleep, right? She didn't just straight up die on us.
I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean. Yes, she's breathing.
Okay.
How is the
Oh
How's
God.
that?
Jesus.
Guess it's my time now.
Oh my God.
Hold on,
So-
I'm being called into the after. Nope, never mind. False alarm.
I'm sorry. The
Oh
way
my
that
God.
the way that Daniel Peaches said it, I thought that she just waited for us to get here, then she died.
Oh my God.
my heart just stopped,
Sorry
and
about
there
that.
it goes.
Oh my
Um,
God.
With that, though, it seems like kind of like a flash that goes past, almost like a very large cloud drifted overhead, but the sunlight from this area gets cut off for a moment. And then is respotted again. Daniel Peach's ear flickers.
What was that?
Perhaps another visitor.
Not the big guy himself, though, right?
No. But you came here for a reason. If it's to get my aid, I'm afraid I can't be of much assistance. He looks up to Maggie, who's just very peacefully sleeping. I at least wish to be with her until she goes.
I understand. We're
Denier moves over and he crouches down next to Maggie's rocking chair. He doesn't say anything, but he just places a single hand on top of hers.
Her skin feels cold. Like, not deathly cold, but poor circulation cold. And your paw seems to warm it a bit.
We're just passing through. We want to try to help this world as best we can.
It's been through a rough go without you, it would seem. You've been gone
Aye.
for a long time, by mortal standards.
Aye. That we have. Which is why we're working to go back to our own time.
Cocks his head a bit at that.
So at least in one lifetime, we can prevent this from happening. And maybe help this place out before we go.
Well, as long as you need it, you have sanctuary here.
Thank you.
He's coming. Daniel Peaches looks out a window.
As Daenerys stands, he leans forward and he kisses the top of Maggie's head ever so lightly before he stands and he walks outside.
Amusing, Daniel Peaches mutters as a vine sweeps him up of Maggie's lap. Daenerys, you walk out into the clearing, and you see a fair number of goblins, each holding their bow at the ready, as a dark-cloaked figure begins to walk through the forest clearing. It glances up at you, and under its hood, you can see one golden eye staring out at you.
Walking over to join the goblins, Daenerys brings his staff against his shoulder. What's your business here, stranger?
Like them, but you are not them. Are you? Who are you? Answer me now!
Wolfgang and Nara, you hear Daenerys talking to somebody outside.
Wolfgang's head.
15 seconds. Which is more time than some usually get. So consider that fond memories, but looking back can hurt.
Can I insight this?
Not sure.
Or do I know? No. Say again, Lenny?
Not sure what it would be against.
Or a history check.
His face is obscured. Go ahead and give me a history check.
26.
Based on the fact that the forest is not attacking him, there's only one eye peering out at you. This might be Asmo.
Answer me this. If I wasn't who you think I am, he holds his hands out. Why are the goblins not attacking me? Why is Fleetfoot not attacking me? I am Somnium Vagus, the Lord of Dreams, wielder of nightmares. I am Daenerys, former member of the Highwind clan. And I think that you are the Godbreaker. Someone that was taken from us so long ago.
Do either of you pop out, Nara, Wolfgang?
Yeah, as soon as Daenerys starts raising his voice, Wolfgang will stand up and sort of hurry outside.
Since Lil Ass is actually sleeping, Nara would take a minute to like take off the papusa and let him sleep, and then would fall out after.
Another familiar face from your past, unaged, untouched by time, pops out through the door. The blonde hair, blonde beard, and white cloak and hat of Wolfgang Connolly.
Oh. No, this is magic. Of the high sort. This is what this is. This is nothing more. I've had dreams like this. I have.
You see a hand come out and just pinch.
Well, I guess it's not a dream, then, is it? So, is it really you? Wolfgang Connolly? And if it is really you two, then where is the other one?
Asmo's not saying a name, still thinking it's magic. You see Asmo's hands on his weapons, tools on his belt, like literally gripping.
And you see
Easy there, stranger.
The weapons themselves do appear to be different from the ones you last saw him wielding.
I've killed for less discretions. But to be fair, they did deserve it more. Answer my question. Why take
Easy,
these
straight.
eyes?
You see the eyes dart immediately to him. Like, you see the one eye dart to where the sound is.
Easy, stranger.
Don't tell me to be easy when you should be thinking about.
You can see Asmo like almost like there's just a bit of a shake to him, a little bit right now.
Maggie!
She's sleeping. Leave her alone.
Oh, really now?
I would incite that, but my guy's being very skeptical.
I bet Nara heard that though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you've been hearing a lot of this with your elf ears.
So the second I heard,
You two, don't get out of my way so I can make sure she's okay, whomever you are. I don't care what mask you put on yourself and wrap it with magic. It will not work!
Asmo?
Stepping forth from Maggie's hut is another old familiar face.
Asmo?
No. No.
Asmo?
she
Asmo
just
immediately
takes
starts-
off. She takes off full sprint, like
Old Asmo turns and runs too.
No. No!
full on, just like runs into him, like
No!
grabs his waist.
Asmo!
What are you doing?
Oh my god, it's you!
As you get tackled down, the hood that you were wearing comes loose. You see a very old, scarred-up snake man. Some of his scales a bit more pale with time. His eye that he used to have, the one eye that he had remaining, seems to have been replaced by another magical eye. Looks to be that of a dragon's.
Please, there's an injury right there. What is
Oh,
happening?
Sorry.
She's literally just like sitting on top of him.
When did you get a new eye? Oh my
Where
god.
have you-
So long. Are you okay? What happened? That was like 30 years ago.
Asmo's eyes roll back in his head and he just kind of faints.
And as Asmo faints and falls to the ground.
Oh no.
Here's where we will take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. So as Nara and Asmo brush themselves off, getting back up off the dirt, Asmo's hood now revealing the black and yellow Sneckman face, although a bit more aged than you remember.
Oh.
You stand reunited once more.
Asmo.
Sorry for
Got it.
spooking ya.
It really is you.
China should be saying that. The hell? I'd ask you where you've been, but it looks like you got here. That's where you went. Shit. I would always joke to people that this is what would happen. I hate being right. I truly do.
You remember the squid people? Denier holds a hand in front of his face and wiggles his fingers.
Gotta be more specific.
The squid faces
yeah.
that tried to eat our faces in the Feywild, or in the, on the way in the overgrowth.
Asmo magical eye does the eyebrow bob. Okay, gotta be more specific. It's been a wild time, man.
Nah, the kinda. It's been so long.
The psychic squids, you know, the guy with a big fucking thing hanging out his forehead.
So long ago, I kind of remember it though.
After you got sent away, we kept Ramses still long enough for the plan to go through. And we got hurled through space and time. We ended up in their living room, basically.
Huh.
Whose living room?
The mind flayers.
They're talking about ending up in the homeland of the mind
In the
flayers.
void.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not taking you that long to get away, because now here you are.
We've only just recently arrived within the last week or so.
Are you telling me that you've lived a week while I lived 30 years?
Yep.
That's the long and short of it, literally.
That's about right.
Nara has just been staring at him this whole time, taking in the new eye, the age, how he's standing, clothes, all of it.
You're a father, by the way.
What? Come again?
You're a father.
Yeah, don't fucking do that to him, Denier.
Oh,
Asmo just has a weird look.
little ass.
Nara will tromp back inside to get little ass.
A very grumpy toddler T-Rex wail, kind of fidgeting in Nara's arms.
Why do I forget the tentacle people? But I remembered this. Oh my god! What is wrong with my eye? What is wrong with my head? I swear I'm gonna wake up at some point, and this is just gonna be another one of those dreams.
No.
No, it's very much obvious.
How have your dreams been lately?
When I sleep is about the only restful time I have, because being awake, that's just a whole other ball and chain.
You see Asmo kind of walk in to just pop his head into Maggie's home just to make sure she's sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping in the rocking chair in the corner. There's a bit of sun kind of dappling over her.
Did she recognize you?
Denier slowly shakes his head. I made sure she didn't. I didn't want to spook her and scare her.
She can barely see.
Asmo just kind of looks with his new eye.
Yeah, it's going around a little bit.
Did you get that, by the way?
From a one-eyed dragon now.
Well, no, it was a gift from a two-eyed dragon.
Huh.
It was a gift. Of sorts.
We do have news for you, though.
Oh my!
I would. Out of character. Do I have news to give them, Nick? Oh yeah. A lot.
It really depends on what they're looking for.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to feed me some context every now and then.
I know we talked it over a while back. I have all the bullet-pointed notes, so I can feed it to you as you need.
Perfect. You know me. I love working with that.
Yup.
Really? 1 week's time? You have news for me?
Yeah. Apparently Nara had a scrap with the Jester a couple days ago.
I almost made it out alive.
Forgive me. I need to know context. Was it here or some other time?
Here.
Here.
That was 2 days ago?
Okay, now out of character, has Asmo seen or fought the Jester at all in 30 years?
Yes, you've protected Elliot a few times from him. And you have, just in your time when you were training down with the Kylum and helping get things set straight there, you had dealings with him. Since you have made your way into Nidhogg's camp for the past somewhere between 5 to 10 years, you have had little to no interaction. He doesn't seem to make his presence known in the desolation, which is where you typically end up hunting.
I haven't seen him shy of 10 years. No, man. Did he make a move on you the second he saw you?
That's the thing. I don't think he knows we're here. Ramses knows we're here, but...
Out of character, would Asmo know about Ramses as well?
The last you saw Ramses was over 30 years ago when it was back in the Feywild before you guys parted ways.
Ramses? I thought we were fighting him and... Wait, he's here now?
He's always been here.
Mother...
You know that... Asmo, you know that tree I'm so terrified over my entire life?
Mm-hmm. Asmo's just making a face going, oh, I'm aware.
Ramses is the bleeding god. When we threw ourselves through space and time, he got trapped in a place with all the time. He's been manipulating shit our entire lives.
We couldn't touch his... I'm sorry.
No, forget... Ramses that's who Denier learned under, correct?
Ramses was one of the people that Denier studied under, yeah.
Okay. I always get Ramses and the more fancy gentleman who's always up to no good. The guy who had had Wolfgang's house initially. I always get
Locksley.
him.
Yes.
Thank you. Ramsey and Locksley, I get confused in my head all the fucking time because they both end in E, and they're both skeevy humans who fuck with us.
A couple of guys.
Locksley is significant. Locksley is significantly less nefarious.
Always here, huh? Always.
He's been manipulating everything our entire lives. He flat out told me that he made me just so I can make him.
Or so he said.
But the Jester has some of Elliot's blood. And he's on his way towards Nidhogg right now to try to take his body.
Yeah, it's been a while since I fought him, and he'd be free to try. He never successfully got...
And Asmo just looking over Wolfgang.
He tried with Elliot, but he never succeeded. I made sure of that.
And Asmo's looking at Wolfgang.
About that. Wolfgang will sort of slowly walk over to him. And then he'll wrap his arms around him.
Denier goes in and wraps his arms around both of them.
You could tell Asmo doesn't like being touched that much because he only does like the one hand there. My God, it's been 30 years. Give him a moment.
Hey,
Nara waits. She sees the group up because she's like, "Oh no, I get one by myself."
No, you don't. Hey, here's the thing, Wolfgang. If the roles were reversed, you'd be Uncle Fuck.
Asmo just kind of chuckling to himself.
Of course I would. But... Thank you.
Yeah. Can you imagine the guilt if I let that freaking Jester get him? My God. Not on my watch. Yeah, it cost me a lot.
You're a better man than I ever give you credit for.
Oh, that much is very much true, but well, less of that, though. To be fair, I've had 30 more years now than you, so I kind of ran up the scoreboard a bit.
Denier just grins.
And he'll let him go, sensing that he's had it in for too long.
Same.
Yeah. Asmo's eyes just keep darting over to Nara.
Nara slowly walks up.
A comical big gulp from the older snake man.
Hello, Nara. It's been a while, week or 30 years, depending.
Hi, Asmo.
Hi, Nara.
Asmo actually pulls her in for a hug.
And she fully relaxes into the hug and squeezes tight.
It genuinely feels like Asmo's not letting go.
Go ahead and keep going.
No,
You start hearing Asmo cry. He falls to his knees.
Followed by a quick yelp.
What?
The tiny tyrannosaur, as you embraced what it believes to be its mother, took a bite at your ankle. It doesn't deal damage, but it's definitely something that startles you.
Asmo's trying to.
Shut up. No, away. Down. 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 Down.
Since they've gone to their knees, hugging each other, she'll scoop little ass into the hug as well.
Give me a animal handling.
Hope it goes well. 6. He's too confused.
He's very confused. Just claws are just like shaking everywhere. He's not doing any damage to anybody, but like his little tiny T-Rex claws just keep like poking Asmo in the side of the face.
She'll pat his butt off to Denier or a frog or whatever the fuck so she can talk to Asmo.
Asmo's just kind of quietly talking in her ear.
I better not wake up because this dream's way too real.
I think I'd be pretty mad if we woke up too.
I'd prefer if you woke up when I was... The last 30 years didn't happen, I guess. So...
Asmo.
She pulls back and
No.
looks at him into both of his eyes now.
One of his eyes still covered by... What would you cover your still lost eye with by this point? Or would you? Would you just leave the open socket?
No, that's a weakness. So I would say he probably just have a different bandanas covering it, depending colors and stuff. So I'd say if
like a
it's the
dark
yellow
iron eye patch or something, or a yellow.
Yeah,
bandana.
pretty much something along those lines. Yeah. You know what? Something that you can imagine the main villain from Waterworld wearing.
Dark iron eye patch with another eye drawn on it.
Oh my god.
There you go.
It's good seeing you.
Good seeing you too.
Yeah. And Asmo helps her up. Out of character, quick question, Nick. Why was Asmo coming to Maggie's hut?
You had been given a description of some people who had fled into the hexwood as a few of your scouts went missing, and then the platoon that went out, only 3 of them returned, and they returned with news that some very odd-looking people, a man in a white hat and white coat, and a drow, of all things, disappeared into the hexwood. You being one of very few people in Nidhogg's camp that can actually make it in and out of the hexwood alive, decided to take it on yourself.
Okay, so I've been with this force for about 10 years.
About roundabout.
So I built
yeah.
up a pretty good rapport with the soldiers that are serving under my guy.
You
Or-
are essentially the high commander of the military.
Obviously.
Obviously, like, it's kind of a figurehead of a position, as Nidhogg has all the control there, but given Nidhogg's past and the fact that he still has semblances of his old persona somewhere
Part of the-
buried
part-
deep in his subconscious.
In other words, my guy's got a seat at the big leader table.
Yes.
And he gets sent out. Okay.
You have a seat at that table, as well as very few others. And that number does seem to shrink over time.
No, that's usually what happens.
Well, I'd take you to my camp, but, I mean, Maggie's is Maggie, and she hasn't seen anybody for a while. So, let me send a message to my troops, and we can talk for a while, because it sounds like we got a lot to talk about.
Furthermore, you did ride here on your dread wyvern.
I just go, Can I clap, double clap, and have it like beside me, or something? Something ridiculous.
While you can approach the hexwood, it can fly over it. It cannot get in here.
All right. How long will it take me to get to the edge of the hexwoods?
I mean, all things considered, it would, like, if Fleetfoot is, allowing you good passage, it would take you maybe like a 10-minute walk out of the woods for you guys.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me send something off with my mount. And, then we can talk. I want to make sure they know I'm not dead. Which, happens. To anyone,
Yeah, it
really.
does.
So excuse me.
Asmo actually kind of wanders off by himself, clearly wanting a moment to think. Because his friends for 30 years just appeared, so he's just... You see kind of an older Asmo walking off into the woods real quick. All right. Daniel Peaches, who's just been kind of hovering on a branch above all of you, has just been, like, peering on. Takes you back a bit, huh?
Not too far back. At least not for us.
Yeah. I am glad to see that the goblins found a home here. I appreciate you letting them stay.
They've been good. Some of them even picked up practice from another old friend of yours.
Would that be in...
A trail kind of starts to point you towards... do you remember when you went into the cave and fought all of the demonic beasts that were trying to make their way through the crevasse?
Oh, yeah.
And an old tree was fortified on top. A clearing begins to make its way, and like some flowers and stuff start to carpet the ground that leads over to that tree. Over on that small hill.
Good to see that T-wigs left their mark.
More than that. Daniel Peaches says mysteriously.
How so?
Do you know what became of them?
You're free to look yourself.
Denier starts walking that way.
Wolfgang will begin rushing that way.
As you make it over to the old tree, you see the old robotic Arcanaton body of T-wig kind of wrapped within this tree's roots. The glowing green core kind of providing life and nourishment to this tree. You feel a familiar presence around you. Voiceless, but comforting. Another drow comes down here every now and again to make sure it's properly watered. I assure him that it's not necessary, but he's insistent.
When's the last time you saw him?
A few nights.
You. If he's a few nights out, he's probably not too far away.
I wonder if he's finished a message.
Right.
Remember the message from Solomon's mother to him? He only gave us half the message. He couldn't figure out the other half yet. 30 years, he might have finished it by now. Might give us some more leverage against Solomon.
Daniel Peaches kind of chuckles. That'll be the day.
You know, I've learned a lot since we've last seen each other, dude. Him and Arcanos are surprisingly similar.
No, they were inseparable as kids.
Nara starts to perk up a little.
Huh?
They were both the youngest. They didn't have many others. Well, age doesn't mean a lot to us, but in some ways it does mean a lot. They just took to each other, each of them pushing each other a little bit farther and figuring out what they could do. I don't know what happened to make Solomon the way he is now, but at some point everything just changed for them. And then, well, I mean, world history, I guess.
Have you heard anything from Tom or Lush since we've been gone?
Not since this... Well, not since everything around here burned up, anyway. Don't get many travelers through this way anymore. Just the drow and, on occasion, him. And he points back to the returning Asmo. Asmo, you've sent off your missive with the, your wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough,
Our message is sent off, so...
Sure enough, a big black shadow looms overhead.
Oh.
Back off towards the mountains.
What was that again?
Oh, that would be my mount. That would be,
You see Asmo kind of make a face.
What?
I named it after one of you.
What did you name it?
Nara.
Wait, what did you name it?
Nara. I named it Nara, okay?
What? You named it after me?
Yeah.
You said it was a mount. What is it?
It's a giant,
What was it again, Nick?
It is a dread wyvern, basically a wyvern, but huge and black of scale.
It's like a wyvern, but dire.
Sorry.
It's a dread wyvern, which I didn't name, but I love the name.
She wraps her arms around Asmo again and hugs him.
Stop. Okay, I'd say stop, but I'm not gonna lie.
I missed you too.
I missed you too, Nara.
Asmo in his head, don't let them know about the two horses named Janir and Wolfgang that died.
Oh my god.
They were both fed to Nara.
Nara was hungry. Anyways, so what are you all doing? Or rather, what are you all here trying to do?
Well,
You haven't told me that yet.
you coming here actually accomplished one of our goals.
Oh. And what was that?
See, we need to get back to the past to prevent this future from happening. And with you gone, that will be quite a bit harder. So, it's been 30 years for you, but when I sent you away by accident, do you remember where you ended up?
See Asmo's eyes wince. He's trying to remember. He's like,
Entire. We went into the Feywilds. Memory is a tricky thing, but the Feywilds were already a bit of a mindfuck. So...
You can give me a history check with advantage because due to the situation you ended up in, you probably have a decent amount of PTSD from this shit.
He's trying to going over the fight. But now it's not widescreen footage. It's 13:9 aspect ratio, unfortunately.
And sepia toned.
Hey, listen, it's the Helsing prequel. It's the original Helsing anime. Again, hey, you joke, but we made it work.
History with advantage.
Oh, thank God, because...
Oh, wow.
It was...
You remember...
fighting. It grabbed me and threw it into its magical mass, and...
When you regained consciousness, you remember ending up, oddly enough, the thing that woke you was the sudden shock of landing. This thing kind of broke your fall a bit as you ended up tumbling out of the sky. You found yourself in a desolate patch of broken forest.
Do I remember falling there?
You don't remember the fall, and
But
you were only very briefly conscious.
Was its corpse there in the when we landed? Was its body there?
It survived, and it continued to hold you for a while. You blacked out again after a little bit, but you do remember seeing the peak of this mountain kind of off to your southeast when you fell. And from all intents and purposes, you were in the foggy area of the overgrowth, but there was no fog and very few trees anymore even. It looked like some massive explosion had gone off.
I explained that all. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to sum that up properly more than you did.
Yeah, further.
And it was all exploded. You know what that's like, right? When things are exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denier knows. Yeah, Denier knows.
I have never exploded.
Yeah. The second time you woke up, you remember being in a very cold space. You don't know exactly where, but you were imprisoned, and all around you were, I guess, what you now know to be called demons. That was the prison that you broke out of.
It was a prison. Kinda flashes, and then everything there was a monster. A demon, as Kylam calls them.
You were imprisoned in a building in Iceforge.
It was up north. Very far up north.
And Asmo just snaps his fingers and points at Denier.
Where your guy was. I don't know what happened to the thing that had me, but it lost its control, and I was able to break free, and I kicked it. And one good thing on the way, but I don't even know how long time had gone. I just ran. And it broke out.
Was the college nearby, or was it Steamy Springs or Coldreach?
I'm trying to remember which city it was. You have to know. Like, you ever waking up from a long dream and you're like, man, what happened to that first hour I was awake? It was like that, but for like a while.
Constantly. I spent a lot of time in the dream world.
Where was it? Which city was it?
And the Asmo's like tapping his head. Can I do another history check?
Lani said it.
Yeah, I told you it was Iceforge.
Oh, it was Iceforge?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You broke out with some assistance from the Deadeyes.
Iceforge. That's where it was at the time. Though, after having someone break out, and after having someone be able to get in there to get them out, which was interesting to say the least. Went for some help.
Did the college still stand, or has the college been destroyed?
The entire city was a stronghold of demons.
No, it's not destroyed or lost. It is exactly as being used as it was intended, for all the horror that brings.
You escaped that place?
Not alone. No, not alone. I wish I could brag. But the most unlikely of allies pulled me out.
Oh.
Dead eyes.
Asmo looks right at them with his only existing eye.
Wait.
Beggars can't be choosers. So.
Who of the dead eyes?
Kage Roshi, the one known as like Talia when she was in the Kylum, but referred to herself as Smoke in the Dead Eyes, and Deus was there, as well as a few foot soldiers that you just didn't quite get the name of. Most of them died.
Smoke was there. Your father was there.
And a very neutral expression said matter-of-factly,
Deus was there.
No, that's strange.
No.
I wonder if it's got anything. I wonder if it's got anything to do with that. And he sort of points to his chest.
Yeah.
Oh.
is the tattoo still there?
The brand is still there. Nidhogg had tried to remove it, but it's fucking stuck there. Like, even the demi-godlike powers of this dragon, and it actually really pissed Nidhogg off that he couldn't get that off of you.
You know what's really interesting is when you watch a very powerful being try to remove a curse and just go, fuck it, I can't do it. Blows your mind. It really was crazy, but whatever magic applied this.
Asmo just makes a face.
And
It's
Nidhogg
not going
went on
nowhere.
a tear after that and just flew off for a few days to go burn some things.
Yeah, Nidhogg was mad about that shit. But there you go, that's what happens when you find out you're not as strong as you would like to be.
How much of them is still in there?
I don't know.
Asmo just makes a face.
I have no idea.
Basically enough that Asmo's still alive.
I'm still here.
Makes kind of a happy smile.
So enough.
Enough.
Good puppy. Sorry.
I wonder if he'd even recognize us at this point.
Might be surprised.
Consciously? Don't know. Subconsciously, I hope he'd at least recognize me.
I didn't ever meet him, so I kind of showed up when he left.
That is very much true.
Yeah, that's right.
One second. Gregor, down.
Puppy.
Gregor, down. No, Poppy is just being extra. Sorry.
Extra pup.
Yeah.
Bug.
So at least we have an idea of where to rescue Asmo once we go back. I can get us into Iceforge via the college's teleportation circle if it's still active.
That's what you're aiming to do. What?
Once we go back, we have to stop all this shit from happening, right? We're not just going to leave you there.
I appreciate it, but I don't know how to get you back. Unless you have an idea.
We do. Elliot's working on that right now.
Oh, is he now?
I ran into him.
No, that means he's neglecting sword practice, but shocker.
We've got two plans.
It's better than one. Let's hear him.
The Wandering Weasel.
Oh, God, that name. Okay.
Yeah,
We
you haven't seen the Wandering Weasel in well over 20 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in 20 plus years, at least. Ugh. I wonder where they are nowadays.
Not since Pip left to do his own thing.
I miss Pip.
Well, I had a conversation with Arcanos a couple nights ago.
As you do. That's
Yeah.
what makes a face. And?
He's apparently, since the incident, he's been exploring the worlds. He's been exploring different worlds, and he was exploring the realm of dreams and just so happened to find me.
Those catnaps are brutal.
You want to know what's really going to twist that noggin of yours?
Try me.
Arcanos is, in fact, Pumbas.
Asmo just deadass goes.
I mean, the dude was clearly a god. Okay? I mean, no offense. There's not much of a mindfuck. Tommen was always... I mean... The dude always knew more than he was letting on. Every time I walked in there, I'm like, could you just tell us what we need to do? But no, everything's got to be a long, drawn-out... And also, Asmo's starting to rant.
Old man Asmo's grumpy.
No, it's real simple. Keep it succinct and to the point, you know. See, no, things. Oh man, I wish things were heavier.
I'm just picturing Cranky Kong, but like swinging a sword around, just like those crazy kids don't know their save buttons when they don't.
I'm sorry you couldn't get Fred Armisen to.
I remember when 5 silver could buy you 10 pints.
That made so much more sense. You know what I can't stand? Blank.
Even worse, we know what's behind the locked door in the weasel.
Was it a sex thing?
No.
Damn, that's what I thought it was.
It was a rift that basically told Arcanos everything that was going to happen in the future.
So I was pretty wrong on my assumption what that room was.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you're into.
Depends on what Tom's into.
I mean, he does travel with the goddess of debauchery.
So I see with the goddess of being a bouncer. Huh. The more you know.
Asmo, what have you heard of Hackless? What's happened to him?
Does Asmo spit when he hears the name Lani?
At the very least, you roll your eyes because he's been the bane of your existence for the past few years as he's been your way of transmitting messages to Dragon's Rest.
Oh, God! God! Hackless is around still. Yeah, he's, indispensable.
And Asmo Excalibur faces.
Yeah, he told me that he's locked up in a cave and I can't summon him.
No.
He does have something that I need, though. I don't know if Nidhogg has it now or what. You remember that big orb that he always carried around and liked to mess with, and that ring that he always had?
He takes that to his bathroom. Take that to the bathroom. You know that, right?
Last time I saw it, he threw a cat into it.
Asmo's just making a face.
Asmo, go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh man, -1. Let's go. Yeah, 13.
If Hackless had that upon his imprisonment, such an item, if it is that powerful, is almost certainly part of Nidhogg's hoard right now.
No, I mean, if he doesn't have that anymore, at least. I mean, if you're working for Nidhogg that close, he will just take the magical weapon, anything magical related that can be used against him, just cover his own ass. The reason why I even got this stuff is because he trusts me enough not to use it against him.
I was wondering where Chimera was.
I haven't used that in a while. But that's neither here nor there.
Asmo just kind of huffs.
Besides, times change. And then they don't, sadly. So, you need to find that orb, huh?
That's one part of it. He motions towards his staff. It's incomplete. The orb is the other part of it.
Oh no, what does it do? Let you jump through those dimensions again, those doors?
So, do you remember how when anything I put on top of the staff is amplified? Now imagine...
It's been 30 years, Denier. I'm going to assume you're telling me the truth.
Yes. So, imagine if I take a sphere that is, basically destruction incarnate, and then I put it on top of a staff that could amplify it, and then I point it at Ramses' dumb face. Imagine what can happen.
Well, here's hoping he doesn't dodge. You take a swing at that guy. First of all, I mean, are you fighting him in a cave? That's where he's at least. It's where he's at its weakest at any given time.
That's what chuckles.
I think the guy we saved from a cave twice is the one sticking it to us here. Son of a gun. So you need that orb, and it's the only way, huh?
That's, from what I understand, it's a weapon that was made to fight the Bleeding God. That's not a requirement. Worst case scenario, I can get it from Hackless back when we go back in time, but it's something I'm on the lookout for.
No.
There's another way.
Hmm.
The Archmage is still kicking, I guess.
No.
Asmo, you'd actually know this due to your communications, but that's actually the mission Elliot is on right now to kind of retrieve the Archmage from the demon stronghold.
And this is the guy with the half undead guy?
Yeah. Jimothy Blackwort with he's basically the Lich, yeah.
No. I don't know if I should be giving this away, but that's what Elliot's doing right now.
We already know. We accompanied him here before the Jester jumped him.
Of course you jumped him. I swear that Jester just wishes you were around the whole time.
I bet he does.
Oh, if there's ever been someone more obsessed with you, I can't really think of him. One time fighting him, he accidentally called me your name. It's true, it happened.
It was really awkward.
Now that is just bad battle etiquette.
He just sort of makes a face like, really?
I mean, to be fair, I called him a motherfucker to his face, so hey.
So he's been handing my family for generations, then.
No, he's in no hurry or rush to end that.
Well, seeing as how he's gotten what he's wanted.
This is like Sideshow Bob going after Bart Simpson at this point. Hello there, Elliot.
No,
God.
it's German for the Connolly.
The. Oh, no one who's German could be evil. Parole granted. When was the last time? When was the last time Elliot saw Asmo?
You guys haven't had face-to-face contact in probably 5 or 6 years. It's been a while. He's been busy trying to head off the demons that are trying to make their way south, and you've been trying to placate Nidhogg and make sure that this no man's land stays demon-free.
How is he doing, Elliot? It's been a while since I've seen him, and he doesn't get back to all my messages. I know. Busy.
He's good. He's grown into a fine man. Due in no small part, I bet, to your influence.
Well, I know the bad direction one can go, but we can only be so good given the circumstances.
He's gonna be a father soon.
Damn. Well, how about that?
You're gonna be granduncle, fuck.
No. Grandpa Connolly. Grandpa Connolly. There he is. Grandpapa. Look at that.
Grandpa.
Look, I've seen it.
Wolfgang.
Look at that. Lines are already appearing on your face, Wolfgang. Look at that.
He's just got thousands of them already.
Oh no! Look at that. Oh no! Crow's feet, more like crow march. My God,
Got a whole flock of them.
A group of crows is called a murder. A murder. Okay. So,
You really haven't changed too terribly much.
I haven't actually been able to be myself in a long time.
Asmo... actually, everybody can go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception.
Asmo might be the only one to really know what it is, though.
9.
17.
22.
15.
Asmo and Nara, you hear this. Asmo, because you're also kind of aware of the schedule that is kept. You hear the screeching of several wyvern as they fly by to the north. Asmo, you know this to be the one of the advance parties that flew out significantly further to the south and to the west, to the east. A new batch of prisoners is about to arrive at the Kuldara.
Ah! Looks like we got some movement with our scouts. They're loaded down. Well, unless you want to camp here tonight, we're gonna have to head out here pretty soon to find out who's in that batch.
Asmo says, looking up, watching the wyverns get smaller.
It could be the Jester. We need to head them off.
Oh, shit.
No, if it was the Jester, I would have been told immediately.
Every
Really?
troop has
standing orders.
I mean, out of character, would it make sense that every scout party has standing orders? If you see someone of that level of magical quality, you have to call it in immediately.
Oh, of course. The issue you run into is the Jester is very good at hiding himself. It's been the one reason he's been as problematic throughout the decades as he has.
Oh, good. Well, the good and bad news is this isn't the first time the Jester's tried to sneak into a place, but it isn't the first time we haven't caught. This isn't the first time we've caught him either.
Remembers the
This time he has
ceremony.
Elliot's blood. He actually wants to get there as fast as possible at this point.
Well,
I don't think we have time to wait.
Probably not, but it depends if Elliot's at the camp or not. It depends if the Jester even knows that.
Well, he doesn't know that me and Denier are here.
I thought you'd seen him already.
No, not us directly. We just heard
I
from
have.
Nara.
You saw
I fought him with Elliot.
Hmm.
It didn't go great.
No. You need a lot of people to take on that dude. Or at least someone to counter him. Okay, so he knows you're likely here. If you saw Nara.
Well,
That's the
He's
thing.
never met me before, so there's actually a decent chance he doesn't know they're here.
Oh my god, you never met him.
Not at all.
Oh, that's right. The last fight we had with him was right before we met you.
In Silver Rock, yeah.
It's been 30 years. My god. Okay. That changes.
Which means we have a hell of an advantage over him. He doesn't know me and Denier are here.
Yeah. The one person he knows is me. But he doesn't know that I know you're here, so. We should get moving.
And on top of that, in the overgrowth in Arcanos' academy, it was just me and Wolfgang that was taken to him. Nara never showed up.
Perfect. Before we go, though, Denier,
Asmo.
write a letter for Maggie. I'll tell her I found it. It'd mean the world to her.
I've got one better. She'll have a nice dream the next time I have an opportunity. I've gotten better. Way better over the years that you've been. Way better over the time that we've been gone.
A week?
Yeah.
To be specific, they've been separated from you for probably close to a month or so. They've only been back in this timeline for about a week.
You should have seen what I did to the big brain.
Oh, the big brain.
I bet it was great.
I got him and all of his minions really, really high. It was great.
Wild.
Tried to reach out to you a couple days ago, but you were awake at the time.
I haven't slept in what feels like a long time. Mostly because I sleep with one eye open.
It's dragon, implying the dragon eye always stays open.
Dinir gives a little bit of a smirk. You can't run from the Sandman forever, Asmo. Eventually, you're gonna close those peepers, and when you do, I got you.
I'm not waking up when that happens.
So, shouldn't we be following those wyverns?
I'm just waiting for you guys to grab your gear and let's get going.
Before we head off, I wanted to say goodbye to someone. Wolfgang will head over to where T-wig was.
The armored body of T-wig just kind of... It's almost as if it's one with the tree right now. The glowing stone that was the core of T-wig seems to pulse very slowly at your approach.
Dinir joins him.
Never knew what became of you after you left.
Crystal pulses slowly again. Seems to recognize your presence.
I hope you're happy.
You feel kind of a tunk at the top of your head as an acorn kind of like knocks you like square in the middle of your of the top of your hat and rolls down and just kind of clatters into the brim of your hat.
I'll reach up and I'll pluck it off and I'll look at it. Just a regular acorn.
Yep, seems to be a seed from this tree.
He'll stow it away in his pocket.
Let's plant that once we get back. Whether it's just one of you, whether both of you.
Give Cherry Jr. a friend.
Yeah.
He'll pull out a small booklet. He'll open it up and turn to a page. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf. So Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down today. Nothing gold can stay.
And before you can close the book from reading a passage, carried by a gentle breeze, a golden leaf lands directly in the center of the back page that you just read from.
Need like it.
You can hear the gentle buzzing of some bees trickling through the air. They seem to have a hive on one of the higher branches.
Well, guess I'll be off then. Thank you, T-wig. Goodbye.
The gem once again shines very bright and then dims. The tree seems to shimmer just a little bit.
Denier places a hand on the helmet. You are T-wig. And he walks away.
And as the lot of you begin to march towards the mountain, the trees opening their way for you, the goblins watching you pass, you see smoke billowing from the center of the mountain range, and a series of 10 wyverns, each carrying something in their talons, a humanoid shape. And here is where we will end today's session.